Hello everyone, my name is Labda and welcome back to SMPVideo. I mentioned last episode that it had been a while since I've recorded anything on SMPVideo up to that point, and this time it is no different. I clearly have not learned from my mistakes. It has been about a month since I've recorded anything on this server, but contrary to last episode, I've actually been really productive on the server, and I just didn't record any of it because I didn't want to record any of it. I didn't feel like it. But now I actually want to record stuff again. So yeah. Right, so let's just do an update on everything that has changed in my area. I guess it down here, I don't think I've changed anything. Nope, this is still the same. Holes maybe gotten a little bit bigger? Maybe? I don't know actually. I've just been digging this hole. It still hasn't gone all the way down because mining deep slate sucks. So I haven't been doing that. Oh, and you'll also notice in the bottom left corner of my screen, there's a little speaker icon with for now, a cross through it, I guess. But this is the voice chat mod. I have had this for 2 episodes at this point, I think, but I haven't actually acknowledged it at all, so I'm acknowledging it now. We have a voice chat mod, in which we can, use proximity chat with each other. Did you remember in the first episode we had proximity chat for like, I don't know, the first 15 minutes, and then we all decided that the Discord plugin we were using didn't work. And so we all just decided to install the proximity chat mod. Some people on the server don't play with Minecraft Forge, so they don't use mods, so they'll lose out a little bit, but I don't think any of those members are very active anyways, so... and then if we head out to my immediate surroundings, still nothing has changed here. That's because this area has kind of been neglected. I'm not really doing anything here at all, because this is not going to be my base area at all. This is where my starter base happens to be, and I guess I will build more stuff here once the big projects have finished, and I can start building up like a city or a town or something like that. But for now, it's just this house, and that's probably how it's going to remain for quite a long time, I would say. Mr. Sniffer is still over there. I know I haven't been doing much with him at all, and he still hasn't actually sniffed anything. It's because I never load the guy in, so I never go over here. But he's still as cute as ever, and he's sniffing stuff. Yeah. I really have not been over here in a long time. This is my starter village, which also hasn't changed, except for the massive tree farm that is now here. And I don't think I took all the logs out already, but I used to have a lot of logs in this chest. I might have to cut down some trees here in the future soon-ish, because I'm running low on wood. But this is not the interesting stuff. If we want to look at the interesting stuff, we gotta go over here, and we can already see a beacon in the distance, and we can see what I've been doing at the main station. The Hamburg Hauptbahnhof build, and as you can see, I've basically built most of it. If we look on the minimap, we can see that most of it has been built, at least on the outside. I still need to do this section, and the copper on the roof is still aging. Well, that actually just aged. That was so majestic. But yeah, I've been really busy on the outside of this. This has taken quite some hours, but my university year is not that busy at the moment, so I actually have time to do things. So I've just been building this, basically using up all of my free time to build this, because I really want to finish this as soon as possible. I've laid down the tracks, the arches have been built, just the general sides of the building have been completed. One of the main entrances is basically done. And there's no interior at the moment, and that's because I have not designed the interior yet, so that'll have to wait. But yeah, this is kind of insane. And I'm just I really love this build. It's probably one of my favorite builds I've ever done in Minecraft, like ever. It's probably the biggest single building I've also ever made. So I guess that's a factor as well, but I just really love how this is turning out so far. But I think I said in previous episodes that I didn't want to record much of the building process of this, which is why there's such rapid progress in between episodes. But I didn't feel like it would be that interesting to show. But maybe I'll do some stuff in the future with this. Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you want like to see the actual building process of this, because the problem is I rarely, you know, have time or the correct circumstances to actually record stuff with it, and just setting up time lapses and stuff like that is, I know I sound like a fucking spoiled little brat when I say this, but setting up like a time lapse or whatever is kind of difficult and takes a lot of work, especially on the editing front. So I generally just want to build this off camera, and that just allows me to work on it whenever I want. So that's why I haven't been recording, but like I said, maybe I'll do something in the future, maybe even this episode. And from the station we'll move on to the next big thing, which, you know, you can already see right here. I've been draining this river biome of all of its water in a 128 block perimeter. I haven't quite finished this because I didn't feel it was that necessary. And if you know Minecraft and if you know Minecraft farms, you'll probably know why I did this. And that is, if we move over here, I've made a little bit of a squid farm, which I just built one day because I needed ink for dark prismarine, which is gonna be stuff that I'm gonna need for the interior of the station at some point. So it's been trickling out ink sacks a little bit. It's not the most efficient thing ever, but it trickles out ink sacks at a pretty good rate, to the extent that I probably won't need this many ink sacks anymore. So yeah, that's the squid farm. This took a lot of work to drain, and I'm probably never gonna make a squid farm again because this was absolute hell. I really hated doing this. And then the other farm that I've made here is a concrete making machine, I guess. I've just pulled this straight from a YouTube tutorial. Nothing of this is my own work. It's literally just from a tutorial. But I can kind of explain how it works. You put the concrete in here, like you just place it in front of the pistons, and then when it hits the fourth piston, it gets pushed, and then there's a bit of a feed tape that pushes it all the way down to the blast zone over there. There's a TNT duplicator, and every time I guess these pistons move, I think what happens is this is like a dropper circulation or something like that, and there's some dirt, some random items, and then once one of the items hits this comparator, it sets off this TNT duper, and then it also sets off this bottom row of pistons, which pushes the feed tape forward, I guess, so it's within the blast zone, and then it gets blasted. I know I didn't do a very good job of explaining how it works, but just it's a concrete maker and it works, and I only lose a little bit of concrete every time I use it. It's not perfect. In fact, it's far from perfect. It took me so long to get this to work. Even if I perfectly followed the tutorial, it would just get stuck. Like, the pistons would extend too much, and then it would block the TNT duper, and it would all go wrong. It's, yeah. But you might be wondering, Labda, why do you need a concrete maker? Well, first of all, I need it for this. There's a lot of great concrete here, so I needed it for this stuff. But that's not the only thing I needed it for, and this is probably gonna be the biggest thing that I've made. We just need to head over here because I've completely changed the way the Nether Hub is. Because if we walk to the end of this tunnel, we can see, whoa, glass and like carpets and stuff. And then we pan over and we can we can see what I've been doing. This is not my entirely my work. Some of the server members have provided aid, especially with the placing of the stone bricks on the wall, and also the big perimeter of stone slabs that needed placing. And you might be asking yourself, what is this? Well, this is in fact a 255 block perimeter. So it goes all the way from 127 to minus 127 on the other side. Same goes for the north and south. It's entirely spawn-proofed, and it's entirely covered by glass. And if you remember, in the second episode of this season, I mentioned how I wanted to make a nether hub that was basically just a big map and a big circle, like in Hermitcraft Season 6. And that's what I've done. That's basically what I've been doing. I've been filling in the map, and this is what I needed all the concrete for, because this is gonna take a shit ton of concrete. In fact, I think I calculated it, and it's about 800 stacks of concrete in total. So the other server members have kindly been providing me with gravel and sand to build this with, so massive thanks to them. I've been smelting some glass in this massive super smelter I've made, and yeah, I've basically just been doing this. This took even more time than the station, and it's kind of ridiculous. I definitely won't be doing this again in the future seasons, because this has been already so much work, making this entire perimeter, making a massive circle, and then filling it in with stone slabs, and then spawn proofing it, and then all the glass, and then the wall around it, and then this. Help me. But I think that basically sums up what I've been doing this past month. Just a bunch of grind work that I honestly don't think is that interesting for an episode. But like I said with the station, I might want to just record at least portions of it. And in fact, I've kind of come round, and I think the next thing we're gonna do this episode, or the first thing we're actually gonna do this episode, is finish that other part of the station that I haven't completed yet, just in a big time lapse. I think that would be a fun thing to do. I think I have all the materials for it. I've been mining some deep slate and getting some copper. I think I could definitely do with more copper at the moment, because this took a lot more than I actually thought. But I think we're just gonna go and gather up some materials for it, and then we're just gonna go into like a sizable time lapse and finish the outside of this station, I think is the next course of action. Now, before we do the big reveal, I must ask you for forgiveness of my terrible voice right now. I am recovering from a pretty bad cold that I caught, actually, as I was making the time lapse. So my voice doesn't sound great, but it's definitely sounded worse. So I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to record another clip. But let's get on to the results of the time lapse, and it's just loaded in, and as you can see, the outside of it at least is basically all done. I don't think there's anything else to do on the outside of it at least, and I mean, just look at this. Man. It's not even that detailed. Like, it's definitely not one of my... I wouldn't say it's my most, like, my best build in terms of the building skill and the details and stuff like that. I mean, it looks nice. It looks, you know, how it should look, I guess. But it's not too detailed, and that's just because of the way the station is in real life. I'll, like, put up, like, a comparison image of the station right now, and as you can see, I would say it's a pretty good likeness. It's not perfect, of course. There are some tiny mistakes, some, you know, compromises in order for it to look the best that it can, so to say. Yeah, inside it looks great as well. I really do need to do the interior kind of soon, because I kind of want to, you know, start building lines and actually using this station for things relatively soon, and right now it is basically just an empty shell. But for now, I am super proud of what I've done. This is, you know, it's the biggest building I've ever made, and considering that I've been doing a little bit of planning and I've decided that this is not even going to be my main base, it's kind of insane. Well, I say my main base. It might be like where I spend most of my time, but I'm planning on like building my big storage system somewhere else and stuff like that. So I've also, you know, been doing a little bit with the world building of my, you know, my state that I don't think I've revealed the name of yet. And I'm not going to do that for now. I think I'm going to dedicate an entire episode, you know, like related to lore and world building, which leaves me with very little to do for the rest of the episode. But I have thought of a solution to that problem, because a couple of episodes ago, I think it was episode 4, I said, you know, maybe if I have time left, we'll do some sort of world tour or something and see what other people have built. And then I didn't have time for that at all, because I was busy with 1.20 stuff. By the way, I don't know if I've even mentioned this, but I got trimmed. I got the trim. I got trimmed out. I have the trim now. I said in that video that I was gonna do a world tour, and then I never did. But you know, I'm here right now on the server, and I haven't really shown any of you like anything that other people have built. And normally I would say go watch their episodes on it. But basically only me, Highbot, and SJohnny actually make videos on it, and SJohnny is the only one who actually makes videos semi-consistently, so a lot of the cool builds on the server simply have not been shown because nobody's recording. Which leaves me to do all their dirty work for them. I think the first place we can go is the Khanate, which is Highbot's area. And it's actually remarkably close to my own area. This is my station, and we only have to fly a few hundred blocks this way. And we can see it coming into render distance right about now, I think. Yes, there it is. If you remember, at the end of episode 1 of season 4, I was here very briefly, just to see what everybody had built for like their day 1 or their week 1 bases. And Highbot has not really expanded on that too much. And that has a pretty good reason, because I think I've explained before, but Highbot is not really building anything this season. He's mainly just, I guess, he has this Khan arc where he's like the Khan of the server. And he has these horses that he rides around the server and basically just looks at what other people have built. There's just some storage in places, I guess. He has a admittedly quite cute ute, a tent, Mongolian tent, and it looks you know, it looks really nice, and I really like it. It's kind of a shame that he's not gonna build much more than this season, because I really like the style that he has going on here. More power to him. So that's Highbot. Next up, I think we'll head to Scavenger City, because as Johnny's been working pretty hard on his area there, and it's really cool. Like I said, he's the only one that's also, apart from me, makes like semi-consistent SMPVideo episodes, which probably means that that's the easiest one to say, like, go watch his videos or whatever, but I still want to show it because it's really cool. So what as Johnny is trying to do with his base is basically just a big, like, old city that has been run down over time, and he had like a time machine thing that he did where he like built something. I think he built this and it was like new, and then he went into a time machine and now it's all decrepit and old, and he has some very interesting lore things going on that I would encourage you watch his videos for more explanation, because I cannot explain it. But yeah, he's made some incredible looking builds. Like this one, for instance, is absolutely amazing. I love this apartment block. It is basically, it's a shell for a sugarcane farm. A sugarcane farm is in here, and he's basically built this entire thing around it. And it's so cool. I love his building style this season. It looks absolutely fantastic. Oh yeah, and he's got this. I made this actually because I had a lot of carpet left from when I was spawn proofing the nether hub. And if you remember, a couple of episodes ago, he pranks me with a door monster or whatever. So I decided to finally prank him back with some leftover carpets that I had, and he's the carpet crook, and he's fantastic. And he destroyed the front 2 rows of carpet, so his frontal lobe has been destroyed. Ow. I think next up, this is gonna be probably a little bit of a longer segment of the tour. We're gonna go to the shopping district and see what kind of cool shops everybody has built. Because I've also not been over there much in episodes, I guess. I think the last time I was there was for the Conglomerate HQ, and I didn't explain any of the cool shops people had built. So, of course, Goop, or Gunk is still here. Gunk is cool. And it hasn't made a single sale, I'm pretty sure. And right next to it, we have the other Conglomerate shop, which is the Sweet Spot. And as Johnny built this, and then he's decided to make it a Conglomerate shop, even though I didn't know anything about it, and I definitely appreciate it. But his shop sells sugarcane and honey, mainly, and then if you can, like, there's a little mini game where if you hit the target block, you can, or like exactly in the middle, you get some free sugarcane. Over here, I think I did show this one in the video before. It's Raad's Interior Design Bureau, which is an interior design shop, and it looks very nice. And then over here we have the Sir C. Umbridge Michael building. I have no idea what this is, to be honest. It's just an office building, I guess, and it's pretty cool. There's a general theme on the server so far with, like, there only being maybe 3 proper shops, 2 or 3, and the rest are all, like, obscure services, like that one, for instance, and I think this one is also... Yeah, this is the World Trade Foundation, which is abbreviated as WTF, which I think is pretty funny. And it's basically just like a bank, I guess, financial services. Yeah, I don't know. Then over here we have the Duricium thing. We have a package delivery service, I guess, where you can request a delivery somewhere, and it takes Duricium, which is Cam's currency. We used it once to transport make him transport some random item 15,000 blocks to, like, somewhere over here. And then he kind of shut the shop down, and he didn't want to bother with it, so we kind of ruined this one for him. Over there we have this is, yeah, the Spearhead organization. With they're the publishers of the Spearhead Gazette, which is a magazine that Raad makes at the end of every month. So far there's only been 2, but he plans to make one every month, and it's honestly a really cool idea. At first I just thought this is gonna be like The Onion, but in SMPVideo, and I mean it is, but it's really cool, and I really love what he's done, and I can't wait for more editions of the Spearhead Gazette. And then over here, of course, we have the big conglomerate headquarters, still without conglomerate branding. S. Johnny, I really need you to make a logo, please. Over here, we have a shop for armor trims, which, you know, armor trims are hard to come by in the server, and thus we collectively decided to make a trim shop in which I supplied half the trims and S. Johnny supplied the other half of the trims. And you can buy every single trim here. You need to get 7 diamonds, I think, and then you put 1 diamond in here, and then you make use the other 6 diamonds for making the trim, I guess. And that's how the shop works, and it's pretty cool. Oh yeah, actually, I want to talk about this for a little bit. First of all, this is the IDC, Diplomatic Convention. I don't know what this is. This was like a gag people made. I don't know why. But I want to talk about this big hole. As you can see, there are some railroad tracks in here. This is gonna be the spawn station, or the shopping district station, should I say. This is gonna be the shopping district station, and I have a little bit of a design in mind that I'm not gonna reveal yet, but this will be, I guess, built up in due time when I have time for it. I don't know actually when I'm gonna do stuff with this. For now, it's just a big hole in the ground, but I think once I start building the lines, I will start building the station as well. Over there, we have a Khanate mailbox, I think, and also a bed outpost. Yes, this is just a little bit of a tent for Highbot to go when when it's nighttime and he wants to sleep, and he's got a place in the shopping district to sleep. And it's nothing more than that. This over here is the Adamac Embassy here in the shopping district, and it's made by Isaac. Clearly, considering the rather square and minimalistic style of building, but it still looks pretty cool, and everybody's been copying these water dispensers from Zrad, who made them, I guess, in season 3 somewhere, I'm pretty sure, and then I started copying them, and now Isaac has copied them as well, so good job on designing a really cool water dispenser. And we have another embassy over here, and this is where Zrad's starter house went. It's been moved under here for some reason, and it's pretty interesting. But the real interesting part is up here, which is the Naviland Embassy, which is, you know, Zrad's land, and it's pretty cool. This is more of the water dispensers I was talking about, and it looks really nice. It's quite, you know, it's a classic Zrad interior. It's quite cozy and tiny and small scale, and I really enjoy it. And it's a very interesting block palette. This bamboo with the deep slate and the stone bricks. I like it. And that's everything in the shopping district. Now I think next thing we'll check out is, let's go to Ateria actually. Now Ateria is an interesting thing because, you know, there was already an Ateria in season 3 as well. But I think CC just decided he didn't think the story of Ateria was fully completed, I guess, and he decided, you know, I'm gonna make another one and I'm gonna make it better than ever. Sadly, CZ is very busy with exams at the moment, so he hasn't really been playing ever since the server started. I mean, he made this starter base, which I think looks really nice, to be fair. But he's just been busy, and he's not going to be back until like October or November or something. So yeah, he's been busy with that. But so far, Ateria looks nice. Next up, we're gonna head over under the disc and towards 93's place, or Cam's place, and it's called Meritish. And I think he's got one of the coolest space ideas of anyone on the server at the moment, because he's decided to build on top of a coral biome, I guess, and he's like on sea level, and it's a really cool base. So far from what he's built, it looks really nice, and I really love what he's doing with the area. I especially really love that. This looks amazing. I have no idea what it's for. I don't know much about the Meritish lore, I guess. I love how this looks, and I can't wait to see what else he builds over the coming months. And next up, we come to probably the most elaborate base, I guess, other than maybe my own. We are gonna go to Naviland. Yeah, this is a smaller island of Naviland. This is Zrad's country, I guess. And this island is gonna be the capital of it. And as you can see, he's be building some houses here. But he has like, his planning for Naviland is absolutely crazy. He's done a lot in the way of world building. And it's too much to explain right now, and also I kind of forget. But he basically plans to populate this entire landmass with various like villages and outposts, and then eventually this is going to be like a bigger area for the capital. This is actually his base proper. It's a bunker and I like it. I get lost here pretty easily, so I'm not going to be here for too long. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what he does with Naviland. I'm very excited. Right, let's move on to the last country to cover in this quite long tour, as it turns out, which is Adamac. Right, here we are in Adamac, and it's very Isaac. If you'll remember, these first 4 buildings I featured in episode 1, and since then he's been building quite a lot more. He's also the only other member of the server to have built a train station, which I am very appreciative of, which means you know, my area to Adamac line is probably the first one to be completed, if all goes well. And he's been building like all types of stations across the server. I'm not gonna show them all right now. He's got a little outpost of vacation houses over here, and he's got you know, this is a station, and he's got a station over here, he's got a station over there, he's got one over there. You know, he's been building stations all over the place. But yeah, he's got a ton of stuff built already, which, I mean, his building style doesn't take a lot of designing and planning out, I guess. So he gets the builds done pretty quickly. But it doesn't look half bad, to be honest. It has its own little charm, and I like that. And there we have it. That's just about the whole server so far. Of course, we're only like 3 months in, so a lot of stuff has still yet to be built. But I thought I'd just give you a little bit of an insight on what the other server members have been up to over the last few months. Just because I thought it would be fun to show, and honestly I didn't really have a plan for this episode other than the time lapse. But that's gonna be the end of the episode today. If you did enjoy this episode of SMPVideo, please smash the like button and subscribe. It helps me out a lot, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm gonna go die now. I'm losing my voice. Goodbye.